I think one of the best success habits is having an open mind, having a curious mind, and always be learning. Now, there's a couple of things I'll say about that, is that a lot of people will say, well, readers are leaders, right? There's all these quotes and stuff. There are the people who read lots of books thinking that everyone should read lots of books. Not everyone learns from reading books. So right off the bat, I'm not saying you need to be reading 12 books a year or reading a book a week, right? There's some people who have achieved great results in their life because they read a lot and they digest a lot and they tear through a lot of books. They're reading, 2 or 3 books a week. That's great for them because that's how their mind works. Fundamentally, what I'm saying though is you to be successful and to build successful habits, you always, in my opinion, want to be learning and being open and being curious. So that might be listening to podcasts. It might be, listening to audio books. It might be watching videos. It might be taking online courses. It might be going to seminars. It might be reading books. It might be all of that, right? It might all fluctuate. I think it's really important to have a habit where every day you are taking in something that could lead to your personal or professional development. Right? So it might be going for a walk and listening to a podcast, and not just a fun podcast, but a business or a mindset or a psychology or something like that that's going to help you. It might be reading. It might be saying every morning I'm going to read, or every night before I go to bed, I'm going to read. Some people, they start reading in bed at night and they pass out. So it's not going to work. This is the self-awareness part. You want to be self-aware of what works for you, and also push yourself to do different things, right? So you say, I never read. I've never read even as a kid, I didn't like reading. Well, maybe try pushing yourself to read, but don't rely on just reading to hit that habit or create that habit. What else can you do that's also in alignment for you? I had a previous boss. He was not into reading. Listening to audiobooks was great. Phone calls, meetings, things like that were great. Long emails, books, not going to get read. And so you want to be self-aware, and then how do you use who you are and then that habit? But I think fundamentally the success habit that matters the most implement today is figure out how do you like to learn? What can you do to develop yourself? And then how do you work that into your schedule? Again, is it you're going to take a walk every day and you're going to listen to a podcast or an audiobook? You're going to set time up in the morning to read. Where are you going to do that? Like, Atomic Habits in that book. It's like, okay, if you want to read at night, put the book on your bed when you get up in the morning so that when you go into your room at night, the book is there staring at you. And it's going to be a reminder that you want to read. Like, set yourself up for success so you don't have to think about it. Here's the fundamental thing to remember. As humans, we lack unlimited willpower, right? If you've ever had it where at the end of the day, you should be eating healthy, you should be making good choices, and then you just don't, right? You eat something, that you shouldn't. It's because you've run out of willpower. You've used it up for the day. So figure out how you could grow yourself and learn and develop, and then also figure out the best time of day to do it when it requires the least amount of effort and willpower. And then how do you set up those habits? How do you make it successful? And then just give yourself some grace as well, right? I think one of the biggest things is understanding you're not going to win every day. Maybe you read 2 minutes, maybe you read 10 minutes, maybe you listen to part of a podcast, right? Maybe you did something here, you started an online course, but it's taking you 3 weeks. Just keep doing it every day and play the long game, and it will work, right? It's important to just take each step one at a time. Give yourself the grace, but just don't stop. Like one quote, we're talking about like healthy habits and like the gym, for example. I had a guy who taught me this. He said, a bad day in the gym is better than no day in the gym. Meaning, even if you go to the gym and you're there for 10 minutes and you don't feel good, or it doesn't feel right, or you have low energy, but you go, and you went for 10 minutes or 20 minutes instead of an hour, you did it, you got in something, give yourself a pat on the back for that. It's better than not going at all. It's better than quitting. Just do something. And that will form those habits. And that, in my experience of myself and others, will lead to the mindset shift, the confidence in yourself, using less willpower, creating more discipline, creating more of a schedule, creating more of a routine where now it's just automatic for you.